People die in the ring. Your daddy died in the ring.
I don't know him. Ain't got nothing to do with me. This picture's from the 10th round of the first fight, right? I heard about a third fight between you and Apollo, behind closed doors. That true?
How do you know all this?
I'm his son. A great fighter once said, "It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward."
All right, guys, welcome to a brand new special episode of JT Movie Thinks. This is a little different because something monumental happened yesterday. And I have with me here the one, the only, Bob Finstock.
Hey, everybody. This is a big day for life. This is a big day for everybody's life.
Yeah, this is huge. So listen, first of all, thanks everybody for the support out there. They know how much we love the Rocky series.
Mm-hmm.
People were tweeting me weeks before this thing came out saying, it's coming out soon, it's coming out soon. Anytime a photo would leak, the fans would tweet me, oh, here's a photo. And I, of course, would share it with the rest of Schmoville and all my Twitter followers. Ever since this movie got announced, and I'll never forget, I was waking up and I had like a text message or a voicemail from Christian Harloff saying, and I'm like, why is he calling me this early? And I had my Twitter was blowing up. Like, I didn't know what happened. I figured something big happened while I was sleeping. And back in those days, I would sleep till noon. So everyone else, the rest of the world was living. I'd be asleep. And Christian, the message, he's like, what do you think about Creed? I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I immediately jump up. I grab my laptop. I go to every movie website I can. And I'm beside myself. Because like you, and I'm sure like a lot of Stallone fans and Rocky fans, he was put to rest.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought it was over.
I thought so too. I didn't think we were going to have another one. I just couldn't see where he would go with it. You know?
Yeah.
Although I don't doubt him.
No, of course not. The way Rocky Balboa ended with him walking away and fading away, I was like,
made all the sense in the world.
It was to make up for Rocky V, which a lot of people didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
It ended the character on such a beautiful note. I came to the results. It's done.
Yeah.
There's no more Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
So first when I read this, I was like, what? I was like, part of me was a little bit like excited, but at the same time, what is he doing?
Yeah, I was like, what is this going to be?
But then I read the synopsis and how this project came together. Ryan Coogler is not doing that. This is not an idea people Stallone came up with. Ryan Coogler, the director of Fruitvale Station, has thought about this movie ever since he was a kid.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
Big fan. His father grew him up on the Rocky movies, which is what every man should do to his son.
That's correct. Immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
Rocky was one of the first movies I ever seen in my whole entire life.
Yeah,
it was Rocky 3 or something, but I mean,
yeah,
obviously.
I don't think it's very rare that people start with Rocky 1. When you're a kid, it's just easier to give you Rocky 3 or 4. Or
right,
2.
because that's where there's more action, there's more fighting, there's the montages and everything like that. And that's what I was saying. It's like, I give everybody a pass who say under 30.
Okay.
Who says Rocky 1 is not their favorite Rocky.
Okay.
If you're over 30, there's no possible way any other Rocky but Rocky 1 should be your favorite.
I
Period.
totally agree.
Period.
Well, here's the thing. Growing up, Rocky 4 was probably the one I watched the most, and 3 because of Clubber Lang and because of Drago. But especially when you're a film geek and you appreciate storytelling and characters, 1 is the best of the films.
It's the best sports movie of all time.
Yeah, agree.
If not, it's my personal favorite movie.
Yeah.
If not the top 5 best movies ever, in my opinion.
Here's the thing,
it's a dialogue-driven thing.
And that's what I like about it. You and I think, share this, where we like movies about characters. Something that totally embodies a character. And the reason why now, I understand why people go crazy for Star Wars and Star Trek and these fantasy films, because there's these expansive worlds that you could just go off in any direction.
Correct.
I am more about I like when the whole movie is one character. Stallone is almost in every frame.
It's a 5-man, it's a little 4-man play. Exactly. And then, they build up to the fight, and that delivers as well.
True. Very true.
And then you cry.
So, yeah. So Ryan Coogler had to pitch this to Stallone. He basically had to say, I have this idea. I've been wanting to do it my whole life. My dad, raised me on these movies, and we would always talk about this. And he did Fruitvale Station, which was a huge hit as far as in the film festival market.
Yep.
And it gave him a lot of tension.
Good indie power.
It gave him the power to do something. Basically, he could have taken a Hollywood gig.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done something, like Fantastic Four, which Michael B. Jordan is going to be in August. He probably could have tried to go the studio way, but he said, you know what? I got to seize this moment where I have the cards in my deck.
Mm-hmm.
I need to push for this dream project. And Stallone, I can't imagine that interview with Stallone was easy.
No.
Because Stallone, I think, just like you and me, thought he's done with Rocky.
Right, and you're touching an iconic character.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got to look at it this way. This saga spans 40 years.
Yes.
For one character playing the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, there's been other movies where other people take over characters, and there's been sequels and whatever, remakes and all these other things. I mean, this guy has been Rocky for over 40 years. The same guy.
I know. And it's not like Terminator, because Terminator's coming out this weekend.
Right.
Arnold's playing a robot.
Right. But he also missed a couple.
Yeah, he also missed a couple. And, I mean, your character, Terminator is a cool thing. He's not a character like Rocky Balboa.
No, absolutely. Rocky is a real character.
Yeah.
Everybody knows like a real Rocky.
True, every neighborhood.
I mean, when Stallone plays Rocky, when he comes on in the trailer, it's just, he's an American icon. I think what, we should do for a time capsule, and bury it after a while is just put Rocky the whole Rocky saga in there.
Okay.
A couple of pictures of Kate Upton's tits.
Okay.
And a DVD of the trial of JTE. Throw it in a time capsule. Put it in, underground, and let people dig it up in 150 years.
Yeah.
And watch it. And I think that's all they really need in life.
They're probably just gonna be like, "How's this all connected?"
Yeah. They're gonna be like, "What is this here?"
This
Either way, I'm burying that in my backyard.
Yeah.
Those three things.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of. So obviously, I heard the plot synopsis for this movie, and from reading that, it was basically Apollo's son goes to Rocky for some mentoring because he wants to be a boxer. Now, I read different rumors and different things, so let me just tell you a little bit what I thought was going to happen in this trailer. Then we'll talk about what actually happened in the trailer, and I'll ask you the same thing. So when I first read the synopsis, I thought, okay, maybe he's like a rich kid. I thought maybe he's not Jaden Smith level, but he's a rich guy. He's a kid who lives with a rich family,
right?
Because Apollo left all this money, and I thought maybe it was going to be kind of like a reverse of Rocky, because Rocky, he's a bum, who basically he ain't got the brains, so he has to use fist.
Core.
So I thought in this one it was going to be a kid who's had the right upbringing, is born to a life of luxury, and then instead of using all that to make a great career for himself, he goes, I'm going to go to boxing. I want to be like my grandfather. Or a father. I wasn't even sure at the time. I thought it was a father.
I think everybody thought at first it was the grandfather because, obviously, Apollo died in 85. I mean, if you want to go on real timelines here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he would be 30 technically.
It's true.
Which he can probably pass for.
Yeah.
I think he's 29 in real life or 28, something like that.
So he's around that age.
Right.
So what I was surprised... Well, we'll get to what I was surprised about trailer. So that was what I had in my head. That's what I kind of pictured. Is that kind of what you thought also, or were you thinking something different?
I thought it was a prequel. I thought it was like Apollo as a young
really? You thought it was going to take place in the 70s?
I thought it was going to be something like that, and because Christian had that idea a long time ago, and he was working on it with a buddy of mine, and they were like, would be a good movie.
Yeah,
a prequel, like a young Apollo Creed, and I was like, wow, that's it. And I'm sure that's what Christian thought he. When it got announced, he's probably like, shit, they took my idea.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of other people have had it as well. But then I heard, you said, the synopsis, and I was like, oh, shit, this actually could be pretty cool. And it could bring, Rocky back. Obviously, he's going to, over-under is going to be at least five motivational monologues.
I'm curious, how big, and I've been wondering this from day one, how big his role is going to be. So let's get into the trailer and we'll break that down.
You know what his role is going to. It doesn't make a difference if he's in one scene or not. If he's in a movie,
he better be in more than one scene.
If he's in a scene, it's a Rocky movie. I don't care what Michael B. Jordan's doing or these other guys are doing. It's when Rocky comes on screen, everybody knows, and he loves playing Rocky. I can only imagine, 1970. I think they were filming it early in 75. It released in 76.
Yeah.
Sort of being almost like a dirt diggler, coming on the scene, staring in that mirror before he goes on for his first shot, and it's probably this is it, Sylvester, let's get this going.
Yeah.
And I think he does it, I can imagine what he did in this one, where he's probably getting ready, getting makeup and everything like that, and left alone this trailer, and just looks in the mirror and is probably like, I'm still doing this guy.
Yeah, right.
40 years later, I am still doing this guy. And you know what? It's not like people don't want it. Like, people like me and you, and then there's a million people who love this guy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing what happened with the last Rocky. But I think this is a more suited role for him. And I think, taking that...
age.
Yeah, no, he can't fight again. That's ridiculous.
Of course.
If he fights again,
That's why
I'm going to be like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think, him taking all Mickey's, tutelage and whatever Mickey taught him into somebody else, which it would have been kind of stupid, and they tried to do it with, Rocky V.
Yep.
But Sly was still jacked and still ready to fight.
Oh,
he was still. They could have put him in a ring with something like a Chinese guy or something, like a big Chinese guy or a sumo wrestler or something. Yeah, exactly. But and it went horribly wrong. I think this is the right way to do it now because he obviously is old. I mean, he's probably just as old as Burgess Meredith was when they shot Rocky 1.
I don't think he's not that.
Burgess was like 72 or something like that.
Here's the thing. I see what you're saying.
Bottom line is, he loves suiting up as this guy.
Yeah, well, it's like putting on an old glove.
Right, exactly.
To keep the blood going there. It's like an
keeps
old
him
boxing
young.
glove.
When he looks in the mirror right now in his dressing room, he probably sees a 1975 Stallone, just like ripe and ready to go and shoot a movie that defined his career, period.
Yeah. For me, for Stallone to agree to this, that very early on already gave me a lot of confidence in this movie because I don't feel like Sly, especially after finishing Rocky Balboa so well, he would put that in jeopardy unless he was really impressed with what Ryan Coogler had to offer. Yeah. So again, this all builds up to the trailer because I don't care how much you read, I don't care who's in it, until I could see something and get an idea what they're going for, I'm going to be nervous.
Correct.
So when I saw this trailer, I said, oh man, I was like, please just don't be bad.
Because Michael B. Jordan put out like a little teaser one, and I was like, okay.
Earlier.
And we were expecting it actually today.
Yeah, so it was supposed to drop originally today when they...
Right. And they're probably like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple other things dropped today, like Steve Jobs and some other things.
Yeah.
And Snowden and a couple other things. So they're probably like, let's beat these guys to the punch.
To the punch, literally, yeah. Great pun. Yeah. So I'm working at Screen Junkies, and all work stops. Yeah. I go to one of their giant Macs. I enlarge the trailer. I put my headphones on, and I just sit back, and I'm like, I'm ready. Yeah. I hit play. 2.5 minutes later. Then 30 minutes later, once the ambulance was called and able to pick me up off the ground. Smelling salts.
Everything. I told you what happened to me. I was sitting at my desk, and some lady walked by, and she's like, did you spill something? And I looked up to her, I go, no. Those are tears. Those are tears.
Go on YouTube and type in fans passing out at Michael Jackson concerts in the mid-'80s. People would just collapse and be lifted. They were almost like
they had to get airlifted out.
The crowd surf the bodies to the ambulance.
Oh, Michael Jackson did a concert in Indonesia, and they thought they gave everybody suicide Kool-Aid. Like 40,000 people passed out.
It's insane. So once my body and mind were able to come back together, I watched it a few more times. Probably when I should have been doing work, but some things take precedent.
Absolutely.
Immediately I said, I gotta, I was already planning on doing this podcast with you, but immediately Twitter was blowing up. Yeah, I was putting everything out I could on Facebook. I wanted to let people, how much I liked it. I almost was like, what? Part of me, for a brief second, was like, maybe I shouldn't watch it until I could meet up with Fitstock and maybe do a reaction video. Right. And that lasted for a millisecond.
Yeah, just can't. You can't not do it.
You cannot do it.
You can't.
Especially with everybody hitting me up. So I watched the trailer, and I got to say, it was better than I thought it could have been.
I totally agree with you. Like I said, I think everybody's going to have their opinions. Everybody's like, this guy again, whatever. Mostly young people.
I haven't heard much of that, though.
No. I mean, it's just, we're in a town where they love this guy, and everybody wants the underdog story because everybody is an underdog, technically. But I think, I had some light problems with the first time I watched it.
Okay. What are some of those?
But then I was just like,
I can't think there's honestly nothing I could think of that I didn't like about this trailer.
I'm a big Conti score guy. if this would have started off with that, going the distance, but
that's Rocky's story.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, anything with Sylvester Stallone in this movie is fine. Now, I guarantee you, if you sit there and play Bill Conti's Going the Distance and put
that would be awesome.
put this on, put the real trailer on mute,
yeah,
and just listen to that with this,
yeah,
it's going to win anyway. It'll still win. Now, if I was the producer, I'm sure they went through this. They're probably like, look, we do this here, or do we just throw the last beats at Going the Distance and the last thing of the trailer? I think they're trying to do is appeal to a young audience, obviously. Of
course.
With the Lupe Fiasco track, Prisoners, or whatever it is, which is good. And now it's grown on me.
It's real.
It has grown on me. But when Stallone comes in, that's when it just goes off the charts. I was thinking was Creed going to be like as rugged looking as like the dudes that were in Apollo's gym in Rocky 3?
Yes.
I mean, these dudes were straight eye of the tiger out and would have murdered anybody in the facility.
And Apollo
even Paulie was scared.
Even Apollo gives that great line. He goes, "You see that, Stallion?
Yeah.
They got the eye of the tiger.
Absolutely.
You had that when you fought me the first time."
Now, nobody's ever going to question Stallone's eye of the tiger. Once he lost it in 3 for a little while and it came back, it's never gone again.
Yeah,
he has it now and he's got it forever.
Yeah.
I got to see that eye of the tiger in Michael B. Jordan. I'm starting to, as I watch the trailer, I can see it more, but it's all going to depend on the movie and what he does in it. And also, I'm worried about, the only thing I didn't like about Rocky Balboa 6, or Rocky Balboa, whatever they called it, the fight scenes were too HBO-y.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I really liked.
Because it wasn't what we've gotten all the other Rocky movies.
Of course, which was just unbelievable choreography and just great stuff.
It was Stallone trying to change with times, and I also think that was maybe budgetary.
Yeah, true. But I really hope they somewhat go back to the essence with this, and I think they might.
I'm glad you brought that up. First, let me touch on the first thing you said. I expected this character to be very much like Apollo, because Apollo is a very jokey. He's a showsmanship.
Yeah,
I don't get this from Michael B. Jordan. He looks angry.
He is, because he's poor.
He is like
poor people are angry.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But every scene in this trailer it looks like he's boiling over the anger, like he could snap at any minute.
Absolutely.
And I didn't expect that. I expected to be him play more like a young Apollo. Fast, loose, all about charm.
Sure.
He doesn't seem like that at all. He's like a troubled youth who's into boxing. And I think whereas Rocky's going to come in, he's there to give him life lessons. And I think that, like Rocky Balboa, I think he's going to give some great speeches.
He's going to give at least 4 inspirational monologues.
Yeah, and
at least. That's the very least. Like I said, some people speak in metaphors. Yeah. He speaks in inspirational monologues.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's it.
They were so good at Rocky Balboa. The best moments of Rocky Balboa are not the fight or the training.
No.
It's the moments where Stallone gets to just stand up and give a speech.
Well, it's the same thing with Rocky 1. Every time Mickey and Rocky were there, Mickey was back, their backhand compliments. And he's just telling him he's a loser, but Mickey believes in him. So there's it's very hard to get motivation out of somebody that has talent, that's wasting it. It's not very easy. And that's why Rocky is so good on so many levels. Because Rocky didn't believe himself. He's fighting Spider Rico in a club and like for a pack of cigarettes and like other things like that. The same thing with Adrian. She had a problem. She was a little shy girl. Lived with Paulie. Treated Paulie like that. He was a drunk alcoholic. Treated him like his mom. And she was. If she didn't meet Rocky, she probably would have been content with that.
Yeah.
Then you got that, and then the whole drama that goes on between them. And then the one promoter is like, "Hey, Creed's going to give you a shot, this and that." And Creed took him lightly, and Creed.
And don't forget,
got
Rocky
waxed.
Immediately doesn't want to take the fight.
No, he's scared.
He's just like, it wouldn't be a good fight. He would destroy me. I'm just a bum.
Yeah,
this guy's a great fighter.
Exactly. But and he's like, why does he want to fight me? And then, they kept saying, Creed's guys were like, this guy's all wrong for you.
But that's where
because they're like, he doesn't care.
Look at this Creed trailer. This kid is hungry, but he's not like it's not like a 1,000,000 to 1 shot type story. It doesn't look like that way to me from the trailer.
No, well, he's got lineage from his dad.
Yeah, he's got lineage from dad. And he looks like he can be a great fighter, but his mind and his heart is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, he might be from the streets. I mean, he might have.
And there's a scene where there's a jail cell being closed on him, and he looks like he's pissed.
Yeah, that's probably in the beginning. You know, I would think that's probably in the beginning. It probably starts that way where he does something stupid and gets locked up.
I don't know because Stallone. There's a scene in this trailer where Stallone's in the jail.
Oh, maybe he gets him out.
So I think this kid goes up and down. I think he's gonna have like anger issues.
Yeah.
And it might be something maybe because his father left him. He has these issues.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Apollo was from the streets too. He was from South. He was from Watts or South Central or something.
yeah, that's true.
So
I'm really curious because there's also people saying Creed, Adonis Creed, who in this movie.
Yeah, Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. You're thinking of Arvydas Sabonis from the Portland Trailblazers.
Adonis Creed.
Yeah.
I wonder if like. Apparently, I think he's the grandson, or he's the son.
He's the son, yes.
And I don't know.
The
like,
grandson would be too. It would be too.
But
ridiculous.
we don't know exactly. Like, was he?
Nah, he's illegitimate.
Illegitimate
Are you
kid?
kidding? Creed was throwing freaking his dick around to every single chick there was. I mean, come on. He's from the streets. He's got a ton of money. I'd be doing the same thing.
He's like any NBA player today.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Understood. All right. Well, so let's get back to the trailer here.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that this trailer didn't tell us too much.
Yeah, I mean...
And also, listen, for most people, I think, that don't know about Creed or aren't as familiar with Rocky, they're going to watch the first half of this trailer. I don't think they're going to know it's a Rocky. It has anything to do with Rocky.
No.
It just looks like a Fruitvale Station type movie.
Right.
With boxing. So
of course.
I can't wait to see this in theaters with audiences, to see that moment where you see the picture of Rocky and Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
I think people in the theater that half the theater's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
Hold on, what?
There's a lot of young people who are just... unfortunately, losers that don't know anything about the Rocky saga.
That's what they're called if they don't know Rocky. You're just a loser.
Yeah, pretty much. If you need to know that, it's an inspirational movie. It's it is what it is. But what I'm saying about this is, as we live in Hollywood, I couldn't even get my hands on this script.
Oh, is that tight, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to.
No,
I could have got my hands on Rocky Balboa. Somebody said, "Joe, you should read this," and I'm like, I think it might have been Christian, and I was like, I don't want to.
No, of course.
Like, I don't want this. I mean, I'll read like Star Wars and things. 'Cause I don't really care.
Yeah.
But this is something I want to experience in the theater. I could have read Rambo as well, but it would have been just like, hey, Rambo kills a kid over here, shoots the whole Burmese jungle down, and whatever. So it's it was probably 4 lines of dialogue and like a zillion lines of action.
Here's something when it comes to the Rocky movies. Listen, I love them, but they do follow a formula, especially the first 5 films.
Sure.
Beginning, Rocky, middle, training, ending, fight.
Right.
Rocky 3 did a little bit to mix it up. I will give you that.
Yeah, it did.
But
Thunderlips in there.
When you go into this movie, there's going to be him trying to be a boxer, training, and it's going to lead up to a big fight.
Right.
I think that's just the mold of any boxing movie, really. Yeah. Kind of comes to that. Well, any kind of sports movie, really.
Really. It comes down to the big game.
So I'm curious to see what they do. To me, what's all about is the personal messages and story it's trying to tell.
Sure.
It's going to be so much different. I think while it's going to have the spirit of Rocky, it's going to be much more relevant to today and to a different audience. I mean, these aren't...
Yeah, they're going to try to open up... I mean, I don't know if there would be a sequel to this. I mean, I guess they would probably leave it open, or it'd be another Rocky.
I think the director said he has a couple sequels in mind. Like, he wants Creed 2, Creed 3.
I could see that. I mean, look, Stallone's it's a good idea he'll pull Rocky out of the closet again.
Now, do you think there's any chance Rocky bites the dust at the end of this movie?
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
I hate saying it too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Everybody thinks he was supposed to bite the dust in 1.
I hate putting that out there.
You can't do it because there's too much money involved.
Remember, Mickey died in Rocky 3.
Yeah, that was a blow.
That was a blow.
I cried.
Do you think he might try to do something along those lines? Maybe in part 2 or part 3.
I think that's the only way to really put him to rest. Because apparently he was supposed to die at 5 too. Tommy Gunn was supposed to kill him in the street.
Yeah,
but what a way shitty way for an icon to go.
Thank God that didn't happen.
That is not going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and say no because you don't want to leave. It's not an indie film. Like he dies in the ring, whatever, and you're like, if it hits, it's good or whatever. It's the same thing with Rambo. They wanted Rambo dead, and the producers are like, no, we could do 2, 3, and 4 here.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think they're thinking that way as in they're thinking, we can make more money off sequels. I think he legitimately has a story he wants to tell.
He wants Rocky to die in the end. I mean, eventually. Eventually he will.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the movie where it happens.
I don't think so either. I just heard some people
Paulie,
comment about that. Yeah, there's nothing with Paulie in this.
He's not in the credits in IMDb, but if I know Stallone, and I tried to reach out to Frank, and Frank, we talked, and he's tight-lipped about it because he won't even say if he's in it.
Oh, really?
Because I'm like, Frank, you're in this. He's like, nah, I'm not talking about it. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, Burt Young's alive. I think it would be terrible to all real Rocky fans who followed this saga if Burt Young, I mean, he'll get a pass if he's in the loony bin or something, but I've seen he had like 7 projects in production. He
could literally just be on a couch in one scene, I'll be happy.
That's it. And I think we're going to see that. Stallone knows we need to see this guy. He's gonna be like, it's gonna be like, yo, let me, I'll be with you in a second, Michael. I mean, Adonis. And maybe Paulie's like getting in hospice care or something. Yeah. Like, maybe he has a bad liver or something.
I'm curious if they're worried to do too much homages to the original.
No way.
Like, do you think there'll be any scene in the meat locker?
They know that.
Are they going to touch on the whole meat locker?
No. I think that's old school. They won't do that. They might laugh at it for a second. Okay. They're not going to touch it again. He touched it in Rocky Balboa, you know? Of course. He's not going to do it again.
So he's not going to bring this kid.
I don't think that's what they're going to do, because everybody's going to expect that.
There's one thing you know that's going to happen. He's going to run up the steps.
That's yes.
That's too iconic to leave out.
That is 100% going to happen.
100%.
I don't know if he's going to chase the chicken.
No. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe
I would like that though. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see some direct Mickey scenes done with Stallone.
I think that can happen. You're going to see the push-ups, the pull-ups, the new school things that are going on. I mean, there's a whole new way of working out. You don't really need to take it back to the, lifting a wheelbarrow with Adrian and Duke in it.
Any chance of Tony Duke coming back in this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's Creed's manager.
He is. I think you'll see him.
The question,
who knows?
Why
Maybe
isn't
him and Paulie are playing chess or something.
Just like in Rocky IV, that'd be amazing.
If they can do that.
Oh, if they go to a park and Tony Duke and Paulie are playing chess.
I should have been.
I'm done.
I should have been in the creative room here.
We should have been doing something on this.
I just really hope that this lives up to my expectations.
Now, let me ask you one more question, and I don't mean to make this too dark. Stallone has always made these movies a reflection of his life.
Sure.
Do you think there's any chance he touches on his son, who was played in the last movie, is apparently not going to be in this one?
I think they brushed past him. He's like, don't you have a son? He's like, I haven't talked to him in months.
But do you think maybe his son could have passed away, like his son?
No, they won't. No. They're just going to play on the Adrian.
Because you could
if
play. If
anybody passes away, it's going to be Paulie's on his deathbed.
I don't want that.
No, nobody wants that. Guys like Paulie don't die anyway.
I want Paulie to see Creed's son and make like a comment about Creed.
Yeah, that would be fun. Something like that.
Do you think? I don't know if
the silent majority, big mouth.
Is Carl's Weathers did he give permission for his image to be used? I heard there was some debate about that when the film first got off.
Yeah.
I would love to see some old footage of the movie.
You know what solves that? Money. Yeah. And Carl probably needs some, but so does everybody.
Yeah.
But
Action Jackson.
I think Stallone will brush past his son really quick. I don't think anybody really cares.
Maybe do you see a son-father relationship, or is it just a trainer?
I think it's gonna be more articulate than Tommy Gunn's one. Him and Tommy Gunn, where he tried to take him as a son, and the son got pissed. He's like, the whole nine. And they had some decent angles there. They just couldn't execute.
There's some characters I don't think it will show up at all. I don't think Lil Marie's gonna come back.
No, she's the worst.
And Steps.
No.
You remember her son Steps?
Stupid name.
The one thing I did not like, I love Rocky Balboa the movie, but her son Steps.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He could go.
Stupid name, stupid haircut, stupid everything.
Steps.
Hopefully, he's not going to be in this. That's somebody who should go. Hey, weren't you friends with Steps? Nah, he got shot in a drive-by. The whole fucking audience will clap. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I agree. But you know what? Watching this trailer makes me just want to go back and watch all these movies.
I watched Rocky 1 the other day again. If it's on, I watch it all the time.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I live in North Hollywood. There's a special screening of Rocky this Friday. And I can't wait to go see it with a bunch of people who love the movie. Yeah. You're not going to go watch it out in the park for free unless you really love the movie.
I think Rocky 1 could cure cancer. I also think, like I said on Twitter the other day, if they would have showed Rocky 1 to the aliens in Independence Day, this whole crisis would have been avoided. They wouldn't even had to use Jeff Goldblum's cockamamie scheme.
Why do you think they would have been so moved by the human condition?
The human interaction. They would have been like, you know what, there's hope here. There's hope. There's hope. It would have been fantastic.
Oh, man. So a little bit more What do you think now? Bill Cosby's wife from the Cosby Show is playing the mother.
Yeah, Felicia Rashad.
Rashad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's not playing the same lady.
No.
From the Rocky Four.
No, Mary Jane.
In the crowd.
Mary Jane Creed. No.
Yeah.
Mary Ann.
So she's gonna play kind of this.
I think she's gonna be like, I forgive Apollo. I'll look at you as my son. Do.
Because there seems to be definitely a mother-son dynamic in this trailer.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's something's not. Doesn't look like it's repaired. There's something damaged there.
Well, I mean, he's a child of a woman Apollo had sex with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not cool.
He has to hold some. He has to hold some stuff against Apollo.
Yes.
And I think he might be going to Rocky for answers, not just for boxing, but for answers about his dad. I mean, everyone wants to know where they came from.
Correct.
So I really think that could be a really good storyline.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to touch on that you mentioned is the boxing.
Yeah.
From this trailer, this doesn't look like it's going to be anything like Rocky Balboa to me.
No.
I don't think it's shot at all with the HD cameras for TV type production.
I really
This looks very cinematic, and I think that makes me very happy because I think Ryan Coogler is a fan like us. Mm-hmm. Just like you and me, he grew up.
Yes, correct.
He didn't make these things.
And he's probably hated that fight scene as well.
Here's the thing. I don't hate that fight scene, Rocky Balboa.
I didn't like Lampley doing it either. I don't know. I didn't like that.
I understand why he did though, because Stallone was trying to make a movie for a different generation.
Yes, correct.
Rocky was a very small budget film. It took him years to get it off. Mm-hmm. And think about it. He shot it using all HBO equipment, and they just shot it like a real fight.
Yeah.
For the most of the part. So I think, again, it was budget, and he just thought, this is the way people are watching fights now.
Yes.
Because I have friends who are no longer friends because they say they watch the old Rocky movies, and they can't get into the fights because they're too unrealistic.
That's ridiculous.
That's why they're not my friends anymore.
It builds up to the fight, and the fight is fantastic. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and possibly say this. One, Stallone deserves the Cecil B. DeMille Award. Okay.
I thought you already had won it.
No, he should have. And I think this movie has a chance with the 10 movies for Best Picture, if just from trailer alone.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like some people I was surprised.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think this beforehand. I was like, this thing probably doesn't have a chance for Oscar because the Oscars, those voters can be a little stuck up. They see a part 6 or 7.
Sure, they're like, exactly.
Spin-off. They're automatically going to write it off.
This is a whole new movie.
Do you think Stallone can get a Best Supporting for playing the same character 40 years later? It's happened with Paul Newman in The Hustler and Color of Money.
It is totally possible. It is totally possible. And it'll come full circle, basically.
We live in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
The Oscars are just a few blocks from where we live.
Yep.
We will be feet fillers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Seat fillers at this freaking thing, just like Kramer was in
No
Seinfeld.
question about it. I mean, I was in the same building the other day as Stallone. I just couldn't get close enough.
If he gets nominated and wins, we could somehow, I say we just get on stage with him.
Oh, and we'll rush the stage.
Seconds.
Yeah, we'll rush the stage. And get the Tony Award and stuff like that.
Amazing.
I really do think, the bottom line is, they're going to give you nostalgia, but they're going to give you the new as well. Mm-hmm. They're going to put hip hop in there. The girl's going to be singing some club songs. I mean, they want a new, younger audience to come in. Sure, they want, the late 20s, early 30s, 40, 50-year-old guys coming in to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Can this movie do 100 million? I don't know.
It's coming out on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The competition is going to be steep.
It is. It is.
But
this can do.
I don't think it's going to blow up the opening weekend, but I think like Mad Max has done, it's going to have legs.
I think you could see this at $30 million opening weekend.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, we do a box office show,
and then do a multiple of it can get to 90.
But what else though? I think Hunger Games opens like around that same time. That is a black hole that's just going to suck every dollar.
I know.
But this would be counter programming to that movie.
That's correct. I think I don't know. If you can get the young audience to come in, because the older guys are going to come regardless.
But that's what I was going to say. For watching this trailer, I could see the young kids today totally going to this.
Yeah. Because
I feel like if you just did it as a Rocky, they're like, that's what my dad would watch.
Right, exactly.
This really, really feels like it goes to a young audience. I showed this to one of my relatives who didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
and she thought it would look. She's like, wow, this guy looks awesome. She's like, this looks really good. And then then once she realized it was a Rocky trailer, she goes, oh wow, this is Rocky.
Yeah,
almost like they're surprised because they're like, wait, I didn't
because they're used to Rocky fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching a black guy do it. Look, I mean, there's 2 good boxing movies coming out this year: Southpaw and Creed.
I'm sorry, but Southpaw. Any interest I had, this thing just kicked its ass.
I'm not even gonna see Southpaw, honestly.
TKO first round.
It's more of a Gyllenhaal Oscar grab thing rather than just a great movie. Well, although it might be, I don't want to throw it under the bus. But I mean, I'm more than happy with this trailer. I'm sure there will be another one. I mean, we got another 5 months.
Do you want to see another one? I feel like
I would like to see one with a Conti going the distance. You know what I
really
mean?
Want
just
that Rocky
throughout
music.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or it's Puff Daddy and Biggie Smalls' "The Victory" song. They use the same thing.
Yeah, the Victory version.
So I mean, that's not bad either. The sun don't shine forever. Then in the whole thing, I mean, that could be very interesting as well. So
I say bring back the complete soundtrack from Rocky V.
That's not a bad move.
Just all 90s rap hip hop, where it's just like electronic. Like,
and it was go for it.
Keep it up.
Feel the fire.
Just keep it up.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. I don't know what they were
Just
doing.
Keep it up.
It wasn't great.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for the goal. Go for the.
It was like they were trying to channel like Vanilla Ice with like MC Hammer, and it was bad.
Meets like Electronic Factory or whatever.
The whole it just.
Yeah, and a little bit of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Correct. It just didn't do what it needed to do.
No, I really like the song in the trailer. It's not. I thought it was a good hip hop song, and it cut well to the images. I was bobbing my head, and it kept me like.
Mm-hmm. It's more livelier. I mean, yes, the Conti going the distance thing it gets you pumped, and that's what Rocky movies are supposed to do.
Exactly.
They get you pumped up, and they get you like to run a hill. Like, half of my iTunes is Rocky music and Frank Stallone and all these other kind of things. It's motivational music that gets you going.
I can't wait to see this movie. The trailer, I love the very last few shots, is him in the Rocky 4 shorts, the Apollo shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Says Creed.
Yep.
Just seeing that is everything for me. And that last fight looks brutal, and he looks like he has a little bit of his father in him. He looks cocky in that ring.
He does.
He's
he
not
looks
Rocky.
Like he's ready to go.
Rocky's a slugger. He puts his head down. He comes in you like a raging bull.
Sure.
Give you a De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks like he has a cockiness. I love Paulo in Rocky movies. He like winds his right hand up. And
here it comes.
And he hits you with the left.
Yeah.
And then he would just be throwing uppercuts and
look,
he was a showman. He was
Apollo was a superior boxer.
Yeah.
Rocky just wanted him more.
Yeah, but then Apollo taught him everything he knew in Rocky 3.
Oh yeah.
And when he fought Mr. T, he was a totally different fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna teach Apollo's son what he taught him.
And to be a winner. Yeah.
This guy is going to be, he's going to have the best of both worlds. He's going to have the Rocky attitude with the Apollo moves.
I wonder if Drago makes an appearance. Maybe he's like cooking in the back of Rocky's restaurant, like Spider Rico was.
I feel like, what do you think happened to Drago? I heard rumors of somebody wanted to make a prequel movie about Drago.
Nah, nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah, no, that's it.
If I had to take a guess where Drago is.
You know what I would love to see in this movie?
He might be running, he's probably running some kind of like medical scam or something.
I would love to see like an ESPN 30 for 30, but in the movie where they're interviewing like
a
Rocky.
Documentary.
Yeah, it's like it's a documentary.
You never know. That would be really funny.
You see,
that would be actually really good.
Yeah, you see Drago talking about the fight and Stallone, and Stallone's like, yeah, he's like,
and Paulie.
I don't know if Paulie would be interviewed, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just want Paulie there.
Paulie's got to be in this movie.
So I think
it won't be complete for me if Paulie's not in the movie.
All right. I don't know, man. I maybe they didn't put on my IMDb because they're trying to keep it surprise.
True.
Listen, we both love this trailer. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It went beyond my expectations. Every worry I had is out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And Thanksgiving cannot get here quick enough.
That is correct.
Are you going to be around for Thanksgiving?
Yes, we'll get some. We'll do something with this.
We're gonna do something. We'll bring a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Get one Copster, Ace, or Cody to come with us.
I'm sure we'll probably get into the premiere.
That's true. We're in LA, man. We gotta try to get up premiere.
That would be nice.
Time to pull every goddamn string in Hollywood.
I will. It's Warner Brothers, so I'll pull the string.
We gotta do it.
We get there, it'd be great.
I mean, I don't know what I would do if I was in that theater.
You're gonna see a lot of icons there.
Do you think if there's a flashback scene, I could play like a young Paulie?
A young Mickey.
If I put on some weight.
Play a young Mickey.
I could do a young Mickey. You
Yeah.
think? Who would you be? Like a young Spider-Rico?
Maybe Spider-Rica.
Shaved
Maybe
beard?
No, I'll be a young Frank Stallone singing in the garbage.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copster in there too, with the shoulders.
Copster with the shoulders.
His beard.
Cody will be Buckus the dog.
No, wait, he weighs a third of that dog.
Yeah, he would be that.
He'd have to put a lot of weight on.
I don't know who he would be.
I don't know, but all right, guys. So this is it. We want to talk about this because we're both. I've met a lot of people in my day that have said they were Rocky fans. Finstock is one of the first people I could say is as big a fan or if not bigger fan than I am.
Correct. Well, I beat you in a trivia contest.
I know, which killed me.
That was a big
I
one.
literally, if the devil came to me today, was like, I'll take your soul, but you get one challenge. I would say Rocky trivia.
Oh.
And it turns out that devil was you.
Yeah.
Because you knew a little bit more.
I was on my game.
Here's the thing. When I came to that trivia contest, a lot of it was outside making of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I think I know more about the actual movies.
You probably do.
As far as like,
I'm just a
scenes
little idiosyncracy guy. Like I know Apollo's wife's name.
Yeah.
I know these little things, and that's true. That's what it was.
Listen, one of the things that impressed me, you got the name of the kid who bullies Rocky's son in Rocky 5.
That's correct.
I could not remember.
You said Duke.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, what the
I
hell
had
was
no
it?
idea.
I forget what it was now.
Yeah, but when you got that, I was just like, unbelievable.
And I was like, that's going to be it for you. And that's pretty much what happened.
All right, guys, look for, and thanks for, first of all, tuning into the special Creed Reaction podcast. I don't know if we'll do one for the next trailer. I don't think so. I think this kind of gives you everything. I don't even know if I'll watch. I mean, that's stupid to say. I'm going to watch it.
I mean, look, it's, the only thing that this trailer's missing is Rocky standing there and going, and Paulie sitting next to him and going, Paulie. And then Paulie makes like a grunting noise and he goes, we're home. That's the only thing it's missing.
That's like, that scene has to happen right when they enter the
Mickey's gym.
Or Mickey's gym, or like this.
Or a press conference.
Or the arena night before the fight.
Yes.
Just like in the first Rocky when he talked about the shorts.
Paulie. He'd be like, yeah, right. He'd be like, we're home. Then I would have cried.
I would have cried.
Then I would have really cried.
Exactly. That's when I would have cried too.
They would have shut down my building for a flood. That's the only thing we're missing.
That's it, man. We're home. Yo, Paulie. We're home.
Yeah, yo, Paulie. Yo, Paulie. And he's like, yeah, right. We're home.
Well, I feel like Paulie would come back like a gimmicky, like a line like...
Nah, Chewbacca didn't.
No, that's true. Oh, yeah, well, Paulie's not Chewbacca.
That's true. He's close.
Paulie always had that last word, though.
He does, and he always will. Hopefully he swings a bat in this one.
Yeah, it's freezing here.
Yeah, it's freezing here, right? That's what I was a little bit. You ask Cable. You give me a job. It's the best.
We're going to fight the Soviet Union. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we call Rocky all day.
Yeah.
At Schmoes JTE. Catch me on Twitter, Instagram, The Main Show, 6 to 8 every Thursday. You know the usual. Box Office Breakdown every Monday, 12:30. Covering all the numbers.
Yep.
Where can they find you, Bob?
At Bob Finstock. Twitter, Facebook. Box Office Breakdown every Monday. Spitting logic. Things like that. And in the streets. You can find me in the streets.
You can. Let's watch this trailer a couple more times. What'd you say?
I'm going to watch it all night. Let's bust it on the 65.
Let's do it.
Done.
All right, guys, so I'm going to start talking to some friends of mine. I just want to get everyone's, feeling for this Creed trailer. Because, listen, I love the trailer, but I'm biased, and I am aware of that. I'm a huge Rocky fan. I got Dan Merle here from Movie Fights and Screen Junkies. Dan, what was your impression of this trailer?
Well, as an editor, I was very impressed by it. I thought it was a very well-edited trailer, number one.
Okay.
Number two, I liked that it was mostly about Creed and not mostly about Rocky. I love that they only brought him in at the end.
Yes.
And it really feels like, I'm glad that Sylvester Stallone didn't direct it. I think that this is going to be a great companion piece to the Rocky movies with Rocky in it, but through a different filmmaker's lens. And it really, I was already excited to see the movie, but it looked really impressive. I think it's going to be a great kind of companion piece to the Rocky movies we love.
Does this sour your taste for the film Southpaw?
I don't really have a taste for the film Southpaw yet, so no.
So you were interested in that from the get-go?
I'm not saying I'm not interested in it. I just haven't really watched the trailer for it or anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boxing movies, Rocky did the boxing movie so well. It's kind of hard to get excited for one.
There hasn't really been a good one. Like Cinderella Man, I think is a little overrated. I think it's fine. But what are boxing movies besides Raging Bull, obviously?
Well, there's $1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a boxing movie, but not really. I like Rocky Balboa, so, don't ask me.
So do I. So I'm going to ask you to rate it from 1 to 10. If I had to put you on the spot, what would you rate it? Just a trailer.
I would give it an 8.9.
Wow. You're my best friend. All right, thanks, Dan. All right, guys, we're trying to get some more reactions from the Creed trailer. We talked to Dan. Now we're going to someone else from the Screen Junkie crew, Spencer J. Gilbert. Not G. J.
J-A-Y. Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to get some reactions. What was your initial reaction on watching this trailer?
I've seen the reaction from you and from around the internet, and I really hate being in the position of being an old wet blanket, but I watched the trailer and I thought, okay, it looks fine. I was so excited when I read the premise of this movie. I thought that is such a good idea to revitalize Rocky or to continue Rocky going forward. So I guess in my mind, I was just expecting to be so blown away by what I saw. And then what I saw was like, okay, it looks fine.
Wow. See, here's the thing. I love the premise too, and I heard it. And you're always worried before you see the trailer. But when I saw it, I was like, it's better than I could have really imagined. Exactly what I wanted. Can you give me at least 1 or 2 points that really kind of you didn't love the trailer? Was it just mediocre for you? Is that it?
It was, I guess my expectations were so high that it was bound to disappoint. But, the best lines in the trailer are cribbed from older Rocky movies. There was nothing new.
That one last.
They're really hearkening back to like Philly, and you gotta get hit and keep moving forward. It's like, yeah, I know it's Rocky, and then on top of that, like it gave me a little bit of a Rocky 5 vibe of I'm training the next guy.
I can't. All right, well, I'm asking everybody, so I'm gonna ask you, if you had to rate this 1 to 10, what would you give the trailer?
The trailer, 7.
7? Oh, wow. I was expecting like a 5 or 6 there. That's actually not bad.
I'm still in. I mean, I'm still into the movie. I expected it to bring something new, maybe visually, or maybe something new instead of hanging its hat on the old Rocky stuff so much.
All right. Thanks, Spence. We're still friends. All right, guys. I got one more person to ask about the Creed trailer. Erica, she's also a writer for Screen Junkies, so she makes you laugh a lot. But does she like the Rocky movies? Are you a fan of Rocky?
I am indeed. I always love to work out to Rocky movies, especially.
Oh, of course.
Rocky 4 is it has this wonderfully motivating force for exercise. I love the franchise.
It's the greatest workout soundtrack of all time. So let me ask you, were you excited for Creed? And what did you think of the trailer?
I am excited for Creed. I'm a big fan of Michael B. Jordan, and I don't even know the director's name. That sucks. But I loved Fruitvale Station.
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, okay. I was a huge fan of Fruitvale Station and Michael B. Jordan in that. And I think the trailer has me really excited. I think it's going to be sort of darker the way they've kind of been trending, but I think it's going to be on the mark. I like seeing Rocky in the position of this kind of more like philosophical Yoda of boxing role,
which he kind of became in Rocky Balboa. He's like becoming Mickey, but instead of throwing insults, he's throwing man wisdom.
Yeah, he's just like the Buddha of kicking ass. Like,
yeah.
And it's I thought the tag in the end was a little like funny and abrupt for me, but I liked the part of like, in life, like boxing, your biggest enemy is in the mirror, But yeah. I mean, I'm totally into that. Like, absolutely. I love him waxing philosophic. And sort of it seems like it's going to be definitely like a rags to riches story,
Yeah. And like when I heard the premise, I was worried like, oh, is he going to be poor or is he going to be like rich? Because Apollo's rich. Maybe he's like a rich kid who wants to box. Yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm glad you're digging it as a Rocky fan. So if you had to rate this trailer 1 to 10, where does it put your level of excitement?
I would give it a 7 or an 8.
Okay. All right. Right there with Spence.
Yeah. Oh, then maybe I'm being overly positive because he's not psyched, right?
No, he's not very psyched. I mean, I wanted to punch a wall after seeing this in excitement. He took a nap.
Well, I mean, some of us don't have as much testosterone as others.
That's true. That'll be a future podcast. All right. Thank you, Sarah. It's good to hear your opinion, and I'm glad you liked the trailer.
It's Erica, but thanks.
Oh, my God. I'm editing that out. All right, guys. I got Andy Signor here, leader of the Screen Junkies. I'm going around asking what your initial thoughts on the Creed trailer was. First of all, were you excited for the movie, and what did you think of the trailer?
I mean, who cares about Rocky, right? We needed another sequel, and this looks so stupid. I mean, it looks so obvious and generic. I'm just kidding. It looks awesome.
I was about to lose my mind.
No, it looks awesome. I mean, when I watched it, I was like, that's how you reboot a movie. Like, that is how you do it. You take it seriously. You find a creative edge to it. And I was just watching like, oh, man, I'm so excited. And then Michael B. Jordan is bringing so much energy and passionate. And you see it when he's running. You're like, wow, I'm really excited about a Rocky movie, which I haven't been. And I can't tell you well. Balboa wasn't awful. But, you know, it was good. Yeah. So, anyway, I just think genius way, and kudos for Stallone. I hope he's not all over the movie. Like, I like that he's in a little bit and he's there, but they're making it his story and he'll learn about Apollo. Like, I'm all in.
Let me ask you, did it drain any interest you had in seeing Southpaw?
Southpaw just looks so depressing.
Yeah,
so
right?
I'm into Southpaw, and it's like I was more intrigued when I saw Southpaw that I was like, oh, cool, new Eminem music.
Yes.
Than anything else. But I mean, I like Jake Gyllenhaal. But when you see what I read about it, and I could tell it just looks too heavy for me in a way. Or
the trailer gave too much too.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like, oh, I got to really be like ready to watch that. So Creed looks a little bit more fun, and I imagine Creed's gonna get intense and sad too. But anyway, from the two, I'm way more invested now in Creed just because I think they figured out a way to do that movie right in a new way. Where I'm like, okay, they're rebooting, sequel, hybrid, whatever you want to call it. It's a sequel. They did it right.
I totally agree. So I'm going to ask you to rate it 1 to 10, just the trailer. What would you give it as, like, where's your interest at from 1 to 10?
I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it was missing that moment. They tried at the end. It was just missing like a line or like a inspirational thing for me that really was like set me over the edge. But an 8's a strong. I'm there. Yeah. I'm into it. I'm going to settle with an 8.
All right. Thanks, Andy. We can stay friends because you liked it.
Okay. That's fair.
Thanks.
See this guy here? That's the toughest opponent you're ever going to have to face. I believe that's true in the ring, and I think that's true in life. Now show me something.